Look at first section, first question, close test. We are speaking about an exhibition. An exhibition in most general sense is an. The blank before that, it is given as an. Can we eliminate any options based on an? Differ and scatter. Eliminate that too because they are starting with consonant and is used with vowel. An organized presentation, an irregular presentation, an unsystematic presentation. Irregular and unsystematic, both of them are synonyms. Now we are referring to a presentation and display of selection of items. Now what type of display, what type of presentation? It is organized presentation that we call as a exhibition. Move to 2. In practice, exhibitions dash occur within a cultural or educational setting such as museum, art gallery, park, library, exhibition hall, or old space. So in practice, that means in general sense, in general practice, exhibitions dash occur. Strangely occur, usually occur, irregularly occur, atypically occur, weirdly occur. There is one odd one out. See, as you can see, all of them are adverbs only. You cannot finalize the answer based on any grammar. You have to go with the contextual case. Look at this. Strangely, irregularly, atypically, and weirdly. These 4 are directly synonyms. The odd one out is usually. We are speaking about the nature of these exhibitions. So what we can use here? It usually occurs in the cultural setting. Cultural setting in the sense related to one particular culture, related to one particular educational field. Next, move to 3. Exhibitions can dash many things, such as art in both major museums and small galleries. Exhibitions can dash many things, exclude many things, separate many things, include many things, deny many things, lack many things. We are speaking about the positive side of the exhibition, right? So can you eliminate all the negative words here? It includes many things or it excludes many things? Includes. You should get the meaning of positive case. Exclude negative, separate negative, deny negative, lack negative. What can be your answer only? It includes many things such as art in both major museums and small galleries. Dash exhibitions, natural history museums and history museums. So we are speaking about types of museums here. Major museums and small galleries, dash exhibitions, natural history museums, and also history museums, and also varieties of such as more commercial dash exhibitions. Now in this case, we need to get one type of exhibitions. Diagrammatic exhibition, justifying exhibition, supplementary exhibition, interpretative exhibition, and instructive exhibition. What can be your answer? Types of exhibition we are speaking about. If at all you have good knowledge about the exhibitions, then you can get this. We don't have diagrammatical, justifying exhibitions not there. Supplementary in the sense anything that can be as secondary or which gives push to something. Interpretative, uninstructive. Instructive in the sense which is used to point out. Uninstructive in the sense they don't instruct anything. They just display, you have to go and watch. Interpretative also comes with the same meaning of uninstructive. You go and see, you get the meaning by yourself. Nobody tells you. Supplementary is providing, not related. Your answer can be 4 or 5. These 2 are in a way synonyms, right? So we cannot eliminate that. Go for 4 or go for 5. Both are fine. Move to 5. And also varieties such as more commercially dash exhibitions. We are speaking about commercially dash exhibitions such as trade fairs. Now commercially dreamy exhibitions, commercially lost exhibitions, commercially apathetic, commercially disinterested, commercially focused. This is one type of exhibition again. They only give this type of trade fairs. Trade fairs in the sense, these exhibitions, they do only for the sake of money. So these commercially focused exhibitions, commercially focused in the sense, they are only conducting for the sake of money. That's it. So answer comes with a 5. Move to 6. Column 1, column 2. He wanted to train as a chartered accountant with dash, after with we need noun form. Where is that? With drive directly, with independent premier, with the ultimate aim of becoming a managing director. Which one is correct? Which one is correct? AF is fine, right? He wanted to train as a chartered accountant because he wanted to become a managing director. So where is that AF pair? Second one, fourth one, anything else? No. See, in both of them, BB is common. You have to check for CD. Centrifugal machines are connected to motor drive directly instead of through a gearbox. Is it meaningful or not? Yes, we can go with the fourth one. Move to 7. Pertaining to computer programs or data, continuation. Pertaining to computer programs or data, bank exceeds while they remain on particular storage device. Age concerns ongoing work in this area. Doesn't look quite good. Let us check with B. This month's amount of deposits in the, after the what do we need here? Noun is needed. In the bank exceeds last month's by 15%. So we are speaking about 2 sets of deposits here, 2 months deposits. So we can absolutely go with the pair of BD. So where is this BD? Can you tell me? How many options are there? Only fifth one. That must be your answer. Check for CF. The issues raised in the report relate directly to something, directly to Age Corner's ongoing work in this area. The issues directly relate to the ongoing work which is in this area. So we can go with the fifth option also. Next, move to eighth one. In the age of big data, it is an acknowledgement. It's an acknowledgement. Continuation. With A, how many options do we have? AF and AE. It's an acknowledgement handy contributions. It is an acknowledgement because mixing correlation with causation often leads to poor. No. A doesn't look good. Let us check with B. If policy is to be driven by evidence, the 3 winners made something. Continuation. The 3 winners, whoever the winners were there, they made something. They made what? They made methods to make sense. They made handy contributions. They made because mixing. Which one is good? B with the E is good. They made some contribution to building its foundation. They got some winning amount, so they gave some contribution. So B is absolutely fine. How many options are there? Only third one. Next, move to 9. Rescuers used a special device for finding somebody, something. You need to get such type of connection. Where is that? Rescuers used a special device for finding which are most secure, finding home ownership towards rented accommodation, finding people trapped in the collapsed buildings. Which one is correct? A with the F. Whoever the people trapped in the collapsed buildings, now they are found with a special device by the rescuers. So pair must absolutely come with the AF. How many AFs are there? Only one. Check for BD. Car manufacturers ought to produce vehicles which are more secure against theft. Meaningful or not? So we can go for the third one. Move to 10. There has been a significant increase in the, noun is needed, in the into selling not possible, in the address of the property, in the number of women students. What we can use out of these two? Address can be used both as noun and verb. Number also can be used as both noun and verb. Remember, there has been a significant increase in the. We are speaking about increase in the. Increase in the what? Increase in the number of women students in the recent years. So pair absolutely comes with the AF. So where is that AF? How many options are there? Second one, fifth one, anything else? No. Check for BD. The bookshop has decided to branch out into selling various records and tapes. That means they started selling various records and tapes. Check for CE. It is not necessary to state the full is adjective followed by noun. It is not necessary to state in the sense to mention full address of the property being purchased. Clear? So we can absolutely go for the fifth option. Next, move to 11, rearrangement. Find the starting sentence. Find the starting sentence. What is the topic that is discussed in this lines? We are speaking about a species which are on the verge of extinction species. Now look at the first one. The plant or animal species existing in such a small number in the sense it refers to something. A cannot be the beginner. The species is on the verge of extinction and have few numbers again. It doesn't look that good. Again, we are coming across the species. Look at this one. It is already dead and can no longer be found in any part of the world. Already dead or can no longer be found. Like almost less in number. So we are referring to it as it here. We cannot use the pronoun in the beginning. Keep that aside. If proper measures are not taken, then it can also become, again we are using a pronoun here, cannot be used, just like C. Next, an extinction species is a species of organism that can no longer be found in the world or in a captivity. Now tell me, which one is your starter? E is absolutely fine because it gives the introduction to our topic, extinction species. Now, continuation. E can be connected with what? If proper, see, look at this. If you look at this D sentence, how D is framed here? If proper measures are not taken, see, we are speaking about some definition in the beginning. After definition, we are going through some explanation of what the definition is, and finally, this is a measurement which we need. If at all we want to protect this extinct species, then we have to do this. Proper measures should be taken. Now, this is a solution. Solution comes in the beginning or at the ending? Most probably D must be at the ending. D must be the last sentence because it gives some suggestion at last. So we can frame E as the beginner and D as the ending sentence, and remaining sentences are A, B, C. Now can you connect E with any of the A, B, C sentences? An extinct species is a species of organism that can no longer be found in the world or in captivity. Continuation. The plant or animal species existing in such small numbers, the species is on the verge of extinction, it is already dead or no longer be found. Can you find one combination here? What can you find here? We are referring to the same sentence. Same additional information is given. It is already dead. In one way it is already dead, or it is no longer be found in any part of the world. The same meaning we are also getting in the E case. So we can make one pair here using E with C. Next, check for B. The species is on the verge of extinction and have few numbers. Continuation. Verge of extinction, that means already dead or it has only few numbers. Look at this. If proper measures are not taken, it can also become extinct. See, if you look at these two phrases here, on the verge of extinction, it can also become extinct. See, it is already about to end. If proper measures are not taken, this will be ended. That is a pair. So the pair, one pair that we can make here is BD, right? Next, what is remaining here? A is remaining, E is the starting sentence. Now A must be paired here or A must be paired here. Tell me your answer. CA or DA? See, we have mentioned D already as the ending sentence, as a solution, right? So A must be placed only on the middle. So rearrangement could come as ECA and another one is BD. Last you cannot add it. Next one. Word swap. Honeybee is sophisticated, one of the most used communication systems of any insect. Is the rearrangement correct? Is the word usage correct? No, we have to change it. Honeybee is sophisticated, one of, no. Honeybees use one of, maybe honeybees insect, not possible. Honeybees use, plural, they plus use is nothing but here V1. They use one of the most communication, most what communication? Most sophisticated communication systems of any insect. So we are trying to compare here, starting with B, BA and C can be used as T's. Answer comes with a 4. Move to 17. I walk the streets of London unsuitably myself off. If we can connect one word to off, we can get the answer. I walk the streets of London, here it is okay. Unsuitably myself off, reminding myself of. What can you call here? I walk the streets of London. When you go to your village, you remind many things. The same meaning here. I walk the streets of London, reminding myself of the unsuitability of such a job. So pair comes as A, C with B. So where is the answer? Second one. Move to 18. The main item on the acquisition will be the possible agenda of larger premises for our services. The main item, is that okay? The main item. Item is noun form, main is used as adjective. The acquisition item, acquisition is noun. Agenda item, agenda is also noun. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Item is noun, main is adjective, acquisition is noun, agenda is also noun. So in this place, what do you need in the first place? Only A is needed. We cannot use any other things. So we can go for 4 or we can go for 2, starting with A. The main item on the acquisition or on the agenda. There is some plan. So on the plan, on the agenda, there will be a possible acquisition of larger premises for our services. What in the acquisition? Acquisition, requisition, request. Okay. So on the agenda, I think there is some requisition or acquisition of larger premises. Larger premises in the sense, larger building. So we can go with A, C and B. Where is this? A, C, B. Second one. Move to 19. The quite of students find it majority hard to live on the amount of money they get. Answer. The majority of students find it quite hard to live on the amount of money they get. Clear? So it should start with BA and C is as it is. Next, move to 20. You will need to seek professional compensation about your claim for advice. You will need to seek, 2 plus V1 is okay here. You will need to seek professional compensation, professional advice. If at all you want to get your compensation, go for the professional advice. So A is as it is, you need to swap only CB. Answer comes with the second case. Next. Which of the following words can be used to fill in the blank? Outdated. Can you tell me one synonym for the word outdated? Old. Okay. Anything else? Take it down, underline. That is important word. Outdated curriculum and teaching methods and dash assessment patterns further complicate these issues. Are we looking at a positive sentence or negative sentence? Outdated curriculum and teaching methods. Outdated curriculum and outdated teaching methods and dash assessment, some assessment. We have to speak about the negative case only, assessment patterns. Further complicate these issues. There are already some issues, but these things complicate the issues. We need to get some quality about the assessments. Again, negative quality is needed. Look at the first one. Flaw or flawed. What do you mean by flaw? Flaw is mistake, fault, faulty. Next one, rigorous in the sense, anything that is very serious, we cannot give that quality to assessment, eliminate. Next, impervious. Impervious in the sense, anything that is resistant, anything that stops. Next, impromptu. You know impromptu speech? What is impromptu speech? Speech without any preparation. That is called as extempore. Extempore also comes with same meaning. Next, another one is gallant. What is gallant? Gallant person, gallantry. Gallantry awards. Gallantry awards. JS question. Gallantry and brave, brevity. Gallant is brave, being brave. We cannot give this quality of brave to the assessment. Now, impromptu assessment, impervious assessment, this is positive word. Flawed assessment. Out of these three, which one can we give to the word assessment? We can go with the flaw. Flawed in the sense wrong assessments. Next, move to 26. Overhaul. Replace in the sense, you have to go with the synonym. Words which can replace in the sense synonym. Overhaul. Overhaul is to repeated word in the many papers. Overhaul is to repair, reconstruct. Write down the meaning. Transmute is to transfer, change. Mend, related, synonym can be used. Contrast is opposite, cannot be used. Digress, not possible. Digress is to deviate. not relevant. So transmute or mend. Transmute used to change from one thing to another thing. Overhaul is to repair. So answer comes only with the mending. Next, move to 27. Trigger, opposite is needed. What in my trigger? Trigger has two meanings. One is noun, another one is verb. One trigger is gun trigger, starting point. That is called as trigger. Another trigger is to start, begin something. Both noun and verb. Now we need opposite of that. Look at the first one. Stifle. Stifle is to stop or hold back. Next, solicit. Solicit is to request, like ask for something. Next, wince is the same meaning of trigger. Next, saunter is a person who wanders. Wander in the sense who roams unnecessarily. Now we need opposite. Synonym is the eliminate that. Now we need to go for the opposite of starting. What you can use as the opposite of starting? What is your answer? Stifle. Stifle is to stop something, obstacle, not to happen. Next, move to the starters. Theresa May won the general election in 2017. She has been forced. Here you have to focus very carefully on this. She has been forced. Underline that. That is the main part in this. She has been forced to reshuffle her cabinet a number of times amid a number of high-profile resignations. What do you mean by that? She won some general elections in 2017, but continuously there are a number of high-profile resignations. Low profile is okay. When there are high-profile resignations, she has no other option other than shuffling the cabinet. When high-profile people are out, then immediately lower people are people brought to the high profile. Again, to fill the lower positions, she has to include some other people. Again, like this is all shuffling. So she has been forced to reshuffle. She has been not forced by others. Because of these incidents, she has been forced by herself. Now, look at the options. Since has two meanings. What are they? Since shows the reason, just like because. That is conjunction. Since is also used as a preposition which shows the time. Since and for. You know that, right? Now, if at all we use since here, we can connect it with the 2017. Since Theresa May won elections in 2017, she has been forced to reshuffle her cabinet. Can we use that sentence? Yes. First one is absolutely okay. Owing to the fact that Theresa May won the elections in 2017, she has been forced to reshuffle her cabinet. We are referring to the fact again. The fact is that she won the general elections in 2017. Both of them are fine. While Theresa May won, look at this. While is such kind of connector which connects two opposite cases, and also it speaks about two separate actions. Now, while Theresa May won general elections, somebody else won some other elections. This is the construction you need to get if at all you use while. But we don't have that type of meaning. So we can go for only 1 and 2. Next, move to 29. Companies were providing more innovative benefits to attract employees. It is providing more benefits. We will give you that, we will give you this, that, this, okay? Now, employees fell back on buckets or fruit baskets when they went through a hard time. Company is trying to give them so many big things, huge things, but these fellows are falling back on buckets, fruits, baskets, and all, like small things. We are looking at something which is contradictory. Can we say that? Yes. Now, look at the options that are given. Even though the companies were, look at this, even though the companies were providing more innovative benefits to attract employees, they are still falling back on buckets or fruit baskets. Can we say that or not? They are trying to give so many benefits. Still these fellows are going for the small things. So when you are using even though, can't we use despite? Even though and despite are used to combine contradictory statements, right? Despite the fact that companies were providing more innovative benefits to attract employees, the employees still fall back on buckets or fruit baskets. We can go for both 1 and 2. Regardless of employees falling back, if you are using the second sentence, the sentence meaning comes as regardless of this fact. The fact is employees are falling back onto the buckets and basket. Still the companies were providing more innovative benefits. Can we go for this combination? That means they are encouraging these people to do these type of mean things. We cannot use 3, we can go for only 1 and 2. Move to 30. The terms were being renegotiated, we can go with renegotiated, and resolution would be a very good step towards free trade. United States does not believe India is eligible for the GSP. Renegated in the sense, negotiation talks. The terms were being renegotiated and resolution would be a very good step. A new resolution, new change would be a good step toward the free trade. But coming to the other side, United States does not believe India is eligible for this. Now, look at the first option. Twists, can we find this word anywhere? In whole sentences? No, not there. Keep that aside. While speaks about two separate incidents, while United States does not believe India is eligible for the GSP, on one side there are some negotiations for the new resolution. So one side United States is saying this fellow is not eligible, but on the other side he is trying to be eligible. So we can go for the second one. Meanwhile the terms were being, where is this? Yeah, meanwhile the terms were being. So whenever you use meanwhile, remember this is a conjunctional adverb. Conjunction adverbs can never be the sentence starters, remember. They can only be the paragraph starters. With the conjunctional adverbs, you can start a paragraph. However, nevertheless, nonetheless, meanwhile, therefore, these are the paragraph starters, not the sentence starters. Remember carefully. So meanwhile cannot be used here. So you can go with only one, only two. Can you have any only two? First option. Next, move to 31. Most of the players of the Eagles received their rings. See, players of the Eagles in the sense, Eagles might be the name of the team. Got the point? Now, most of the players of the Eagles received their rings during a ceremony on Wednesday. They might have won the match and they got some rings. The Eagles made sure Dorenbos was remembered and gave him a ring on Thursday. So one of the fellow did not get the ring. So they made sure this fellow also got the ring on the next day. They got rings on Wednesday, but still one fellow did not get it. They made him not forget that this fellow should get a ring. Okay. Now, if you look at this case here, even though, see, all of them got, only one fellow did not get. Even though most of the players got the ring, they still made this fellow remember, give him a new ring on the next day. Can we go for this combination? Yes. Next one. As the Eagles, when you use as, what does it mean? As is subordinating conjunction. What does it mean by as? It shows a reason. It shows reason. As the Eagles made sure. That means this is the reason to get these rings. Can we go for that? No. Next. While most of the players got their rings on Wednesday only, they still made sure that this fellow get the ring on the next day. So we can go for absolutely A and C. Next, move to 32. Look at the options that are given. Very important cases. Keep this in your mind forever till you get the job. These three starters. The starters are owing to, taking into account, considering. Underline only these parts. Or write them separately wherever you can find them always. Owing to, taking into account, considering. Can you tell me why I told you to take it down? Owing to, taking into account, considering. The three are same. If at all you have to use them, look at this. A legacy, a legacy, a legacy. That means you are starting three starters with the same combination of a legacy. These three have the same meaning and they three are started with the same word. What does it mean? One thing, you have to go for all of the above or you have to go for none of the above. Only two options. We don't use all this. You have to go for all of the above or none of the above. Let us check with the first one. There has been a legacy of stock market scams through the 1990s. Capital Markets Regulator, Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI's, impulse has been to protect retail investors at all cost. You know SEBI, right? Has anybody written exam of SEBI? You are afraid to write the exam of PO only. There is one fellow whom I know, who was of my batch, my PG batch, but not my department, who did not go for any coaching, who only sat and studied for exactly 1 year and cracked his job in SEBI. He did not attend any coaching, nothing. He only bought books, he studied, he got the job. Believe me, he was very young person at that time. PG in the sense not a big age. He looks very young, just like intermediate fellow. He looks very young. That fellow got the job. Do you know what is the salary of SEBI? You know how valuable it is? It is more than your SO, PO, top. Okay, under SEBI you get this one SO, next PO, next clerk order. So top one without any coaching. Remember, try in future, not now, after getting some job. Now there has been a legacy of stock market scams through the 1990s. Capital markets regulator SEBI impulse has been to protect retail investors. So there were so many scams. You know this situation? What is that movie? Scam 1994 or 1998. Some movie is there, no? What is that fellow name? Harshad Mehta. So during that time, there were so many scams. Now SEBI's duty is to protect retail investors at all cost, whatever it might be. They have to protect them. Now, owing to the legacy of stock market scams through the 1990s, SEBI's impulse has been to protect retail investors at all cost. Can we go for this? If at all we are going for this, your answer must be all. So answer comes only with the first one. Next, move to 33. Find out the error. An IT firm has stated that it plans to launch a software next year which could make self-driving cars a real in 2021. Look at this, an IT, oval case, that is fine. An IT firm singular plus has and has plus V3 stated that it and ikkada form, it plans, it plus V5. Is that okay till there? No error in the first one is absolutely fine. It plans to launch a software when next year. Second is also fine. Next year, which could make, which is followed by here could, and could is followed by make self-driving cars. Self-driving cars together, this is non-phrase. Self-driving is adjective. Okay, self-driving cars a real in 2021. They want to make this self-driving cars a real in 2021. Real is something which is adjective. We cannot use adjective here. We have to go for the noun form. What is the noun form? A reality. They want to make it a reality in 2021. Move to 34. The 9 customer satellites. Singular noun or plural noun? Satellites, amma. Plural noun. Followed by R. Move to 35. This was the highest number of cases recorded in a day since August 13. This was okay. The highest number of is followed by plural case, not cases. Case, it must be cases. Move to 36. India's tally is now 10.9 million cases. If at all of is given in between, millions of people, millions of cases, that is fine. You can add of or you remove s. Do either of the things. Both of them are meaningful. Move to 37. This achievement will send a deep, inspiring message at a time when another virus is holding the world to a ransom. That means there is so much of havoc going on in the country, in the world. Now there is some achievement which will send a deep, inspiring message. Okay, now what can we use here? Inspiring message. It is not possible. What we can use? This achievement will send a deep, inspiring message at a. It speaks about time or place. There is no time, there is no place there. At a time, not possible. What you can use here? A deep, inspiring message. Tell me your answer. During a time when another virus is holding the ransom. What is the parts of speech of during? Parts of speech of during. Preposition. Next, 38. Connect the sentences using the connectors given. Knowing that it often ends up as a wild goose chase. You know this one, right? Wild goose chase. What do you mean wild goose chase? Idiom. Wild goose chase. You did not attend idioms class. Yes, that's what it is. If at all wild goose chase ni మీరు వాళ్ళు వర్డ్ యూసేజ్ లాగా అడిగితే అప్పుడు ఏం రాస్తారు మరి? Wild goose chase, anything that is unsuccessful chase, unsuccessful search. Knowing that it often ends up ante concludes as a wild goose chase. Men from city are losing their prime in their pursuit. Pursuit ante police pursuit అంటారా అంటే సెర్చ్. ఓకేనా? ఏమి చేద్దాం ఇక్కడ చెప్పండి. Knowing that it often ends up as a wild goose chase, knowing that they already know that sometimes it ends up as wild goose chase. Men from city are losing their prime in the sense their importance in their pursuit. Now as so, despite, because, what we can use? Because shows the reason, we cannot use it, keep it aside. Knowing that it often ends up as a wild goose chase, as men from city are losing their prime, so the men from city are losing their prime, despite men from city are losing their prime. What we can use? Can you tell me? Or you have to go with the beginning pair. Beginning lo emana use cheyadaniki possibility unda? As knowing, so knowing, despite knowing, because knowing. Knowing ki connect chese word em cheptara only? Despite. Despite knowing that it often ends up as a wild goose chase, men from city are losing their prime in their pursuit. Next, move to 39. Malala Yousafzai has been academically inclined from a tender age. Her father, Ziauddin Yousafzai, had unwavering faith in her and in his community. Now we are looking at two opposite cases. Look at this. All of them can be used as opposite cases. Okay, now what you can use here? Although Malala Yousafzai has been academically inclined, despite that, even or while cannot be used, not separate incidents here. Even speaks about just like the meaning of although, complete negation of an incident, eliminate that. Now despite that or none, out of these two, which one can you use? If at all despite is given, we can use that sentence. Can you understand? Now, or we have to connect the sentence in the second phrase. We have to connect despite in between these two sentences or in the beginning. In the beginning it is not possible. Let us check with the middle only. Malala Yousafzai has been academically inclined from a tender age. Despite of this fact or despite this incident, her father kept a faith. So she was dropped down from the academics, but still he kept faith. So we can go with the combination of despite that. Move to 40. BG government is not focusing on increasing rural wages. Rural areas lo amount increase cheyatledu. Dani మీద focus cheyatledu. The BJP-led government is wasting resources on NPR and NRC. Answer. Instead of, can we say focusing? Instead of focusing on increasing rural wages, the BJP-led government is wasting resources on the NPR and the NRC. Yes. Next one. In spite of, can we go for in spite of? In spite of the BJP government? No, not possible. Even if no, even then no. Even after that any meaning వస్తుంది. So we can only go for the in spite of. Move to 41. He never completed college. He runs a successful software company. We are referring to a contradictory statement case here. He did not complete college, but still he is running a successful software company. But however, otherwise, especially, even though, what can we use? Can you tell me? Especially, otherwise condition, however condition not possible. However, of course, we can also use however, but is not sensual. Now, however or even though. Even though he never completed college, he runs a successful software. Okay. He never completed college. However, he runs a successful software company. Remember, we can use both to and as well as five. Both are meaningful. Both can be used. Why? Remember, these are all connectors. Connectors, some of the connectors, they have same meaning. For example, if we take any element of reason, If at all we want to go with any connector of reason, which shows reason, there are a number of connectors, number of conjunctions which can use, which are used to show the reason. Now, however also comes with the same meaning. He never completed college. However, he runs a software company. Still he runs a software company, if at all use however. Even though also comes with the same meaning. But here it is okay in our model papers. Now you might ask me, sir, what if this question comes in the examination? That is a question from you, right? I know. Now, if at all these type of questions are given, remember he won't give the similar meaning connectors. They will never give. If at all similar meaning connectors are given, again mark would be added. Connectors could give the same meaning. So we do not know if at all by fault they mention it, then they would later correct by adding some marks. But here we can go with both 2 as well as 5. Next, move to 42. Police have apologized after 2 brothers were arrested. They were watching a hunt for car thieves. See, first they are actually on a search for the car thieves. By mistake they arrested 2 brothers. Got the point? Now look at the given options. Illustrated by, thus, especially, next. If you look at these options, illustrated in the sense explained by somebody, thus gives the meaning of so, conclusion, especially gives the specialization of something, next in the sense adjacent to or subsequent action. Now out of these 4, which one can we use? Can you tell me? And look at this. While police have apologized after 2 brothers were arrested, they were watching a hunt for a car thieves. We are referring to 2 separate incidents here. Now 2 separate incidents can only be used with the first one while. Next. Move to 45. Play off. What do you mean by play off? He wants to play me off. He wants to play me off in the sense trying to get some benefits going to the opposing person. That is called as play off. Play off అనేది బేసిక్గా దీన్ని ఏమంటాము అంటే తెలుగులో ఎదుటి వాళ్ళ లోపాన్ని చూసుకొని అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళ నుండి బెనిఫిట్ పొందడం. యూజువల్గా మోకరీ అనే మీనింగ్తో వస్తుంది. ఇది మోకరీ అనే మీనింగ్తోనే దాన్ని ప్లే ఆఫ్ అంటాం. ఫ్రేజ్లో ఇచ్చారు. నౌ వాట్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ యాజ్ ద మీనింగ్ హియర్, టు బ్రేక్ ఎ టై, సెట్ ఇన్ వన్స్ పొజిషన్, టు డిసైడ్ విచ్ సైడ్ విల్ win over others. What we can use here, to set in one's opposition for own benefit. Move to 46. Legitimizing, you legitimate అంటే మీనింగ్ తెలుసు కదా, legit అంటే మీనింగ్ తెలుసు కదా. మీనింగ్ అన్నాడు ఇక్కడ సినోనిమ్ కావాలి. లీగలైజ్, రిఫ్యూజ్ అనేది యాంటోనిమ్ అవుతుంది. వీటో అనేది కూడా రిఫ్యూజే. శాంక్షన్, లీగలైజ్, బోత్ ఆర్ సమ్వాట్ సెన్షువల్, విచ్ ఈస్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ రిలేటెడ్. ప్యాసేజ్కి యూసేజ్ అంటే ప్యాసేజ్ యూజ్ చేసి చూద్దాం ఒకసారి ఏముందో. ఆల్సో ద ఉమెన్స్ మూవ్మెంట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ సక్సెడెడ్ ఇన్ లెజిటిమైజింగ్ ద ఎకానమిక్ అండ్ పొలిటికల్ యాక్టివిజం అంటే గివింగ్ అథారిటీ, శాంక్షనింగ్ కాదు అక్కడ, లీగలైజింగ్ ద ఉమెన్స్ అథారిటీ. Move to 47. That's it, right? Okay. Thank you.